Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb at kbla1580.com today. That's smb at kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Ramani. Welcome back to this YouTube channel on narcissism and coping with these relationships. And something that, you think the dream come true is that the narcissistic person in your life does go into therapy. You're like, great, we're going to make some forward progress. But then you find out they use the tools of therapy to dominate you again. Let's unpack that. Because that's the dream, right? They're going to get into therapy, they're going to start doing better, they're going to listen better and empathize more. So the big question is often, do narcissistic people go to therapy? The answer to that is yes. Now, the reasons they're coming into therapy are they're not coming into therapy saying, I want to be less narcissistic. When narcissistic people come into therapy, they're often coming in because something is going wrong in their lives. Relationship stuff, work stuff, maybe drug or alcohol use or addiction, anxiety, irritability. Something gets them in. Then, once they start, they may actually keep going. That's never a bad thing. In good therapy, some shifts are always going to take place, right? The kinds of changes that the narcissistic person experiences may not be changes that you benefit from as their partner or their family member, but the ground does shift. And the therapist may even notice a few significant changes. But alas, as with all things in a narcissistic relationship, even them being in therapy can come back and bite you. So let's take a look at what that looks like. First, the narcissistic grandiosity can often mean that they think that now, after a few weeks of therapy, they're sort of healed and cured and they've learned everything they need to know, and they will lord it over you. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. So they may learn about boundaries, for example, in therapy. Hang on to your hat, because they may very well weaponize that little shred of wisdom to control you further. Things like, hey, I expect you to do this and this and this in the relationship that I want you to do, like letting me watch TV while you clean up after dinner, or not having to be home to sign for that package. And then they'll turn around when you're like, I need some support. They'll say, they're going to say, I'm setting a boundary. Or better yet, if you were to express a very basic and fundamental need, like, can you come home a little earlier because we need to sign a form for the kids' school and get it done and in by 6 o'clock? They might say, nope, I'm going to set a boundary and say, no, I can't. They will take a concept of something like boundaries to be a place to basically double down on their entitlement and believe that they're doing something oh so smart and wise, when basically they're just being entitled but putting a different name on it. Second, what they may do is use their experience in therapy as a way for them to rationalize their mean, abrupt way of talking to you or even yelling at you. They may learn about things like clearer communication in therapy, probably not pay too much attention when the empathy.
Listen, I got to bring my god sister back in here because Dr. Ramani, she don't play with the narcissist. My sister was a little bit on the fence. She was like, well, and no, it can't be healed. But is anything wrong with them? I personally think they're cool. No, hold on. According to Dr. Ramani, this is what I meant by therapy proof. They go in there not for self-realization, like, let me become aware of what I'm doing to another person and let me start to work on it. She's like, no, they go in there for therapy tools so they can weaponize those tools against you. They go to therapy proof themselves. That's heavy, man. But for those of us that are not narcissistic, we all have narcissistic tendencies, of course, but not certified NPD diagnosed, right? Therapy can facilitate emotional regulation, a skill championed by Glenn Schiraldi's work on resilience. Now, Glenn R. Schiraldi has an amazing book. I suggest that everybody read it. I made my son read it, my daughter read it, especially they're dealing with sports and all of that. The book is called The Self-Esteem Workbook. Glenn R. Schiraldi, The Self-Esteem Workbook. It's a powerful book. And for individuals with unresolved trauma, therapy provides a structured environment to explore difficult emotions safely. Please understand that in the therapist office, that's like the training room for these difficult conversations, these difficult emotions to come out. The relationship is the octagon. So therapy does have tremendous value. If you can get in a conversation that with a therapist that can kind of push you a little bit to, explore these hurtful feelings, these difficult conversations, you might be better prepared to have these conversations in your real-time relationships. Because what happens is, oftentimes it's a reaction, and next thing you know, you've said things you didn't mean, you've done things you didn't mean to do. So therapy can provide this kind of safety training ground for you to be able to explore your feelings, especially the ones you don't like looking at. And that aligns with the Buddhist teachings of Pema Chodron. We feature her a lot on this show because we love her work. She emphasizes leaning into discomfort as a pathway to growth. Now, the cons of therapy I'm going to get into in a second, but let me get my callers in here because people want to talk. In Zinga, Pensacola, Florida. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Hey, this is a good topic. When you were talking about Dr. G, it kind of reminded me of a session a long time ago. I told a therapist she'd giving me homework. And I was like, you're not being hard enough on me. And she was like, you do a bang-up job, of that yourself.
You doing a good job.
We cracked up laughing. I sighed-eyed her a little bit and we wound up laughing again. But, that's the mark of a good therapist. Like, I talked about the first session being an interview. Unfortunately, you may have to pay a deductible or the full fee. But, in doing that assessment, a good therapist is going to pull out what you need. And, they'll do a plan, which I kind of like say it's like a syllabus, and, you go from there. But what I thought about the topic was if couples are kind of constantly, I don't want to say arguing, but I guess maybe trying to get to the root cause of the problems that they're having. I like to get your opinion on where does, and sometimes a therapist can feel the fire between two people and nothing gets resolved, because I think sometimes a therapist's job is to get you to think about things and pull things out of you. And so when you start in a relationship, if you go to therapy, you might realize that maybe this is not going to work, But if a couple is always trying to resolve stuff and they're always embattled, where do they have time for relationship mindfulness?
Wow, that is so heavy.
Like,
go ahead. You were saying. Go ahead.
no,
I'm
because
listening.
I really thought, like, when I saw it, I was like, well, when do they ever have time to be present or just like, be in the throes of a relationship if we're always kind of embattled a little, And I know, don't get me wrong, it's, it's not good to harbor things.
Mm-hmm.
I should be able to talk to my man and, at a good time. I need to be able to express things to him and he needs to be able to express things to me too. But if we're always doing that, then when are we ever present? And I just wanted to kind of get your opinion on that.
You know what's crazy about what you're saying? Just imagine you're not going to find a human being. I'm trying to paint this picture. Our psyche is like a spiritual hamper that we throw experiences in.
Dirty?
You understand? It's a spiritual hamper. It catches every experience and it holds it there. Do you see? So when you say present, present is a gift. In the moment, to not have that screen of everything we've already been through. So if we go through something negative, it's with us through everything positive that happens afterward. And it taints it. And that's part of the problem, right? So a good therapist will get you to see, hey, can't you see that you're allowing this situation you said you were over, you said you forgave them for, you said all was well with. You're allowing that situation to contaminate any attempts to elevate this relationship beyond the moment that happened. A good relationship could point that out, like you're doing this. Can you see that in yourself? Are you aware? Do you see what I'm saying? And then it's up to the person to be able to go, wow, I didn't recognize that I was. Do you see?
Doing that.
Yeah. And it's like, now, understand, you're not only doing that to your partner, you're also doing that to yourself. Why? Can you look inside and figure out why? Is there a why? Do you see?
Well, based on what you've taught us, or what you've kind of drilled into us, is the first relationship you have, the most important, and the first one is with yourself.
But a good relationship, that's what I'm saying. A good therapist is always going to lead you back to you. Now, that doesn't mean your partner is exonerated when they have bad behaviors. A good, especially if it's couples therapy, a good therapist is going to call them out. A good therapist is going to hold everybody accountable. Now, what I've experienced with a lot of people who've been in therapy, and they've shared these stories with me, that they've been in therapy with therapists that have chosen a side subtly. And they say, oh, I had to get another therapist because she was siding with my husband. Literally told me that. So a good therapist is definitely impartial. There's no bias there.
But that may be hard, because you look at that show, Couples Therapy, and I don't, she might listen to this, but sometimes you can kind of see sometimes where she, it's like she's maybe sided with, one partner, over the other. Sometimes, like it was a couples I saw, and I was definitely like, okay, she's siding with him. So I definitely, but I think sometimes you can't help that, especially when you're pulling out the problems. And I'm not going to say one partner is the problem over the other, but sometimes when you get into the root of things and the truth is coming out, so is that,
But yes,
is it possible not to side?
Yeah, you bringing up a great point. A good therapist, based on my experiences here, a good therapist can remain impartial while holding everybody accountable. So if one partner is wrong or to blame for something, or, you know, is responsible for particular negative behavior or, you know, whatever, or infraction, they can remain impartial and still call you to the floor to account for what was said and done or how you made a person feel. That's a good therapist, without having to say, you ruined this relationship with these actions. And then the other partner goes, see, I told him I was never coming back. Girl, you shouldn't come back, because look at it. Right? And impartial, yet still holding them accountable. Does that make sense?
And I guess the operative words are good and impartial.
Yeah. Girl, let me just say this. Nzinga, I love you. Sag season. What up, Nzinga?
What up? Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, you brought Pensacola, Florida in the house. If you want to bring your city in the building, wait a minute. Let me say happy birthday to my oldest son, my firstborn, New Williams. Come on, 28 years old. Let's go, pro ball player. I love my boy. We appreciate y'all. Hey, we still got callers. People still want to talk. If you want to talk, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be coached by me? In this video, I want to invite you in to a recorded group coaching call. I'm just going to show you one little mini coaching that I did with somebody named Sarah, and it starts right here. All right, welcome everybody. This is the group coaching call. I'm so glad you could all join us. What we're going to do in this call is one at a time. I'll take your coaching questions and we'll have a little discussion. All right. Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks for answering my question. Well, I was wondering, so I think my partner and I were triggering each other a lot. Like, triggering. We both had difficult childhoods, and we trigger each other very quickly, and then we argue, and then becomes very dramatic very quickly. So I want to stay with him. It's not that I want to leave. So I was wondering, what would you advise?
Oh, it's such a good question. And I think it's so common for couples where at least one person, if not both people, have CPTSD. And honestly, in my experience, if one person has CPTSD and there's a lot of fighting, the other one will start to have symptoms similar to the person who has CPTSD. So it's not the same as having a crappy childhood, but we find each other, don't we? And this is often who we fall in love with, and that's okay. And there is a workaround for this. There are some techniques you can use when you know that you're somebody who gets triggered in relationships. And so, Sarah, one question I had for you is, do you have is abandonment part of your trauma?
Yes, definitely. It's very, yes, and very strong.
And does he have that too?
I'm not sure actually, because it might be because he was abandoned by his father as a child. So,
what tends to tends to trigger him? What kind of things trigger him?
When I'm just, let's say we argue about who does some cleaning in the house or something, and then I'm like, well, you need to clean too, and stuff like that, and then that spirals out very quickly. So if I show some sort of dissatisfaction, slightly being annoyed, that then makes him extremely angry because he thinks, oh, I'm trying to do everything, and it's still not right.
Is it your strong emotions that trigger him? Or your
maybe
anger?
Maybe. Hey, that's how it goes sometimes. It's okay to go talk to somebody to help you work through those emotions, right? And here's the thing. Oftentimes, many people will walk into this therapist's office thinking, it feels good to be able to talk. It's a safe space and share, how I really feel. Until it's not. See, we'll think that the therapist is a low stakes conversation, meaning I'm not invested in the therapist like that. They gonna give me some answers that I need to get me through this tough situation. We look at them like a filling station. We went there to get something, right? But then you wind up getting triggered because if they're good, they're gonna point you back to yourself. And that's when the breakdowns start happening. And again, this is why we have a hard time talking to our partner, because that's a perceived high stakes relationship. I was sitting in the lounge the other day and I was asking this young lady who, studied. Basically, she's my homeboy's girl. He brought her to meet me. And she had studied psychology extensively to the point where she was, MFT, marriage and family therapist. I said, oh, wow. What's your attachment style? She said, I will not say that in front of him. Now, if he leaves, I would be more than happy to share with. I said, oh, see, we think because, okay, I'm going to go talk to this therapist. That's a low stake conversation. I'm not invested in them. I don't care if they. She knew, no, I can't say what it is in front of him because she's interested in him. She doesn't want, that's that enhancement bias stuff. She doesn't want him to see her as she is. But she would share it with me because she's not interested in me. It's low stakes. So she thinks. By the end of the conversation, she was like, oh, bruh, you didn't tell me I was coming here to be vetted out by the Oracle, your homeboy, the Oracle. You didn't tell me. But she enjoyed the conversation. We had a ball. It was funny. You know, she was laughing. She shared a lot. You know, she got comfortable because I made it, you know, a comfortable environment. We were just talking. But she did not want to reveal too many things about herself in front of him. And they've been talking for months. Don't think just because the therapist is not somebody, you know, you got, you know, a lot of investments into other than your money. Don't think that, I'm telling you now, a therapist that's worth their salt is going to peel those layers back, man. And yes, they can make you comfortable, but you're going to get uncomfortable with a good therapist. All right. This is what I'm going to do. When we come forward, we're going to Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to talk to Martin, and then we're going to talk to my niece, Attila from Houston, Texas. We got a lot to talk about.
Leads me to your door, fresh from trials invisible. So you 9/10 of my day, energies in my black coffee, weighing on my mind.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The family of Jordan Neely, who's black, is outraged after a New York jury acquitted Daniel Penny in connection to his subway chokehold death. Jay-Z was all smiles Monday at the premiere of Mufasa the Lion King, his first public appearance since a civil lawsuit accused him of raping a 13-year-old in 2000. A Supreme Court ruling will make it more difficult for people to sue the police. It stems from a case that was filed in North Texas. A group of George Floyd protesters have been trying to sue the city of Dallas for the way they handled the rallies in 2020. With holiday shopping forecasted to reach a historic high this year, the same is said to be said for purchase returns. A new report expects this year's returns to reach $890 billion in products. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
It's Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances, plus take an additional 10% off when you buy other select major appliances. Valid 11/6 through 12/4, cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items while supplies last.
On behalf of her precious family, it is with profound sadness that KBLA Talk 1580 announces the passing of our beloved colleague, Robin Ayers, on Thursday, December 5th. Robin was a bright light. You could see her radiant smile through the radio. We all respected her immense talent, loved her jovial spirit, celebrated her love of family, and honored her faith in God. Our thoughts and prayers are with Robin's entire family, most especially her husband Rob and her twin daughters Brooklyn and Madison. We ask you to join us in praying for the Ayers family as they navigate the difficult days ahead. In her honor, all this week, we're broadcasting the Best of the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number. They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
Why should we be silent?
turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you tired of being stuck without internet access? Connect and go with LA County Library. It's simple. Visit your local LA County Library location and borrow a hotspot for free to get Wi-Fi wherever you are.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and in this video, I talk about some of the ways ADD can affect relationships. This is part of a series of videos that I've done on ADD. So for more information about ADD as a brain disorder and some of the symptoms, check out the playlist that I reference in the top corner. To see what kind of impact your ADD is having on relationships, here's a series of 10 situations that are pretty typical for a person with ADD. I'll present the situation and you think about whether it's something that happens at all, just rarely, or pretty frequently. Here we go. My partner says that I zone out instead of listening. I forget the things that I agreed to do. My partner complains that I never finish what I start. We argue about how I spend money or pay bills. My partner says I can't be trusted to do what I say. The clutter in my office, shop, or garage is a point of contention for us. We fight about my losing track of time. My partner nags me a lot. I often wait until the last minute to get things done, which causes problems for us. I lose my temper when we argue. So how do you fare? Or are you on the receiving end of some of this stuff? A person who does not have ADD and in a relationship with someone who does and dealing with these kinds of issues, it can be very difficult and frustrating. And if you're a parent with ADD, your inattentiveness or forgetfulness can be hard on your children or hard for them to understand. Your child may think you just don't care. And that's the impression they're left with because people with ADD can appear to be aloof. And it comes from...
Listen, man. Tracy, she be cooking. Dr. Tracy be on fire. You should check her out on YouTube. She's bringing up some great points. I want you guys to understand, therapy is necessary. I'm an advocate for therapy. I think I'm going to be in therapy for the rest of my life. Well, but I will say this, therapy is not without its pitfalls. One major risk is the potential for emotional dependency on the therapist, a concern echoed in the works of Patrick Carnes. You already know he does trauma bonding. When clients externalize their healing to the therapist, they risk bypassing self-accountability, perpetuating cycles of victimhood rather than empowerment. Furthermore, therapy's focus on introspection may inadvertently foster isolation. Right? Carl Jung's emphasis on integration, which is integrating the shadow with the mask, the persona, you know, the public persona, integration, suggests that true healing arises not just from self-awareness, but from relational experiences that challenge and expand the self. When therapy prioritizes internal reflection over actionable change, it may stagnate growth, right? Leaving clients adept at articulating their struggles, but paralyzed in implementing solutions. Another critique lies in therapy's potential to amplify conflict. Oh, my goodness. In couples therapy, this principle, well, before I go, hold tight. We have callers, and you know I hate getting the callers. I'll come back to that. I hate getting the callers caught up at the end, and they don't get a chance to expand. So let me give them some room to breathe. When I come forward, I'm not leaving. Andy was like, yo, wait a minute, we got time. I know, I'm just... Martin from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, bro?
Well, first, congratulations to you, man, and being a good father and having a son to make it this far. We as black men don't make it this far, man, without knowing a few things. So congratulations, man, and just, yeah, smell the roses, bro. But, man, you almost made me throw my notes down, throw all my notes away on that story you told. I ain't going to lie. I'm not angry, but I'm triggered. You know, to hear, I am, man, to hear someone say that they're hiding parts of themselves. This is we can't be successful like that. I mean, man, I can remember as a little boy that great marine biologist and oceanic ecologist Popeye said, "I am what I am." Man, if you can't be who you are, what a burden that is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I remember hearing a story when I was younger about a relationship where the husband never knew what his wife's real hair looked like because she had, she had to have that money, so she always had a weave or had it done. He never saw what she really had. He didn't know. That's why what a burden that is. I can't carry that, man. I can't carry that. All right, let me say a couple things real quick, and I'll get out your way. First, it's an ethical violation if therapists come in and they start putting their values and imposing what you should do and what they think and all of that on top of you. That is just flat wrong. That is against the whole profession. And so if you got someone who's doing that, now human beings are beautiful. We're very complex, right? That means we can be very sick though too. You could have a therapist where they trying to get their ish off. They got an audience. They fulfilling needs they got. They waiting for you to come in so they can perform. So, man, you got to be careful of that. But that you are the expert of your own condition. You are the driver. They should be a companion that helps you, that is willing to walk with you into those dark caves, and help you fight and find your monsters. And so I'll say this: you were right, man. I don't know how you knew this earlier, but I have been in therapy, man. I'm in therapy now. Shit, I've had extensive therapy, and I love it, man, and I hate it. I'm gonna tell you why. I hate it because every week I'll be like, after I do all I gotta do, and I got my therapy, and at the end of the week, I'm like, man, I do not want to go in here and talk about myself for an hour at blase splee. I just don't want to do it. But it's a weekly commitment. It's the practice of self-analysis and self-reflection. So now it's part of my own spiritual practice. It's me putting value. It's me feeding myself. And my therapist helping me to do that. So I can't give up. Why? You said it yesterday. Psalm 82:6. Yeah, all God's children of the Most High God. Man, know thyself. I'm not giving up on therapy until I become and feel like I'm that guy. And I don't think I'm that guy yet. I got a lot of growing to do.
I love it, brother. I love it, man. Hearing black men on the radio, we some of the most villainized people on planet Earth. Let's just own it. Let's just own it. But we've heard several brothers call in today and say, I've been to therapy, I'm working through it, and really expound on it and talked about the pros and the cons and mostly pros. And I just want to say thank you to the brothers, including you, good brother Martin, for calling in here, man, and being transparent about your process. Listen, it can't just be cathartic. It can't just feel good and feel like a release, right? It has to be transformative. You have to go in there with the intent, right, to unlock whatever it is that keeps you blocked so you can grow, so you can transform, so you can evolve. Again, you can never become something that you aren't already. But sometimes you have to discover what you didn't know about yourself. And therapy can help you do that. Right?
Yes, sir.
I was telling my son this the other day. I got 2 sons and a daughter. They're all Sagittarius. Birthdays are crazy. They're back to back. It's crazy. But I was telling my son this the other day. I said, you've always been a professional basketball player. You just had to work to uncover and unlock all of the skills. You were always that. Michael Jackson was always Michael Jackson. He was always going to be Michael Jackson. Prince was always going to be Prince.
Right.
You see, you can never become something that you aren't already. You just have to cultivate it. And I believe not only therapy, but spirituality leads to that. You start to discover and uncover and unlock different gifts and skills. And the next thing you know, you are what you always thought you would be.
Go ahead, bro.
It's in you, not on you. But we live in a society that elevates what's on you and not in you. See, our society will cause you to dim your light because our society is about envy and competition.
Yes, sir.
Do you see? So we don't care what's in you because we don't think it's in us. So put that light away. But what's on you?
You telling my story, bro.
Oh, you got the new Jordans? Oh, you got the new Kobe's? You got a Louis Vuitton? Oh, see, it's what's on you, not in you, that prevails in this society. Isn't that interesting?
It is. It's fascinating. Can I tell you why I'm in therapy?
Go ahead, man. Let it out.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. In 2022, brother found out in March.
Wait. Hold on. Cliffhanger. When we come forward, we going back to Atlanta, Georgia to find out why this man is in therapy.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
This season, Chevy brings classic pairings, cookies and milk, mistletoe and kisses, and your holiday plans and a new Chevy. Silverado 1500 gives you power and capability with 430 pound-feet of torque to haul your holiday tree. The Equinox EV and all-new Equinox, America's best compact SUV for new vehicle quality by J.D. Power, offer both confidence and style to see you through the holiday season. It's easy to see why Chevy makes everything better and brighter. Find your red tag. Get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select popular Chevy models when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Award based on 2024 models. For J.D. Power 2024 U.S. Industrial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Offer available on all 2025 Equinox and 2024 Equinox EV, Blazer EV, and Silverado EV models. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment is 26.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 1/2/25.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VOR back in the building. You already know what it is. We can't do Krishnamurti right now. Let's get these callers in here. Martin, I want to get your final thought, and then we'll move on to Juliet from Watts.
All right, real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So I'm in therapy, man, because I discovered that I'm very angry, I'm impatient, I'm curt, I'm short. And why is that? It's because in March of 22, God tried me severely, brother, and I found out I had classic Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I fought cancer for over a year. I'm talking about chemotherapy, radiation, and it wasn't until April 23 that I got a clean bill of health. Praise God.
Come on.
But now, I'm like, everybody out of my way. Don't get in my way. I got stuff to do. I got stuff to accomplish. I can't sit down. I can't be still. I don't want no BS. I ain't playing no games. Because that what you said earlier before the break, that's me. You know, I'm hiding my light. I'm taking my time. I'm trying to appease everybody to get along. Can't do it no more, bro. Can't do it.
Brother,
time is running out. Got
Brother
to
Martin,
get stuff accomplished.
Do you know how powerful
Come
you
on.
are? Do you know how... Listen, to be angry with cancer and beat it, listen, my sister, she had breast cancer, and she beat it.
Yes, sir.
But one of the things the doctor told us was, you better stay positive. We're going to bring in some spiritualists. We going to bring in, she said, I don't want any negativity in your life. She started talking about law of attraction. This was her doctor. She was like, listen, this ain't easy. Wow. She was like, this is not an easy process to, get through, but you're going to get through it because we are not allowing one negative thought into your life while we're doing this. And she was like, we gonna pray with you. We gonna pray with your family. I was like, this is a doctor? Right in Hollywood, Kaiser Permanente. And she was like, you got to remain positive. And for you to be mad and then still beat cancer, boy, you on some Kryptonian, man. I love it. I love it. Now, I'll tell you this.
Go ahead.
Continue with the positive. Continue taking in every moment you can with gratitude, with appreciation, right? God gave you one, man. You dodged a bullet. God gave you one, right?
Yes, sir.
So guess what?
Yes, he did.
Appreciation from here on out. How about that?
Absolutely.
Come on, Martin.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you, brother.
I'm with you.
You brought Atlanta
Appreciate
in the
you.
building. Hey, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. We got Juliet from Watts. Watts up in the building. Come on, Watts up.
What's up, my loved ones? And I'm sending love and light in honor of all of our those that have transitioned on, our spirits. My heart is heavy, and I just want you and Andy to know, look, you guys are the wind beneath my wings, however for whatever that's worth. You need to understand, you guys really need to know that we sending love and light through these airwaves, and honest to goodness, forever and ever and ever and a day. We need this. I had the 12 steps of recovery to help me, and honest to goodness, I believe that that's the best therapy in the world, because my sponsor used to take, I'm breaking my enemy, the mirror out of her purse and look at it and say, right out, hallelujah. There you go. My mother played the organ and the piano. But listen, she used to take the mirror out when I get to talking to her, and she say, your issue is, she said, just stay in the mirror and say that 3 times. My issue. She says, you.
Ooh.
That's your issue.
Ooh.
But the 12-step process of recovery is awesome. And I believe everybody that in the politics, police, and everybody, they should go through the 12-step process of recovery, period. Because it's a spiritual awakening that you have, and it's a spiritual, not religious. And the answer, when you answer those questions, ain't no right or wrong answer. And if you're doing it right, at the end, it says number 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. That means you had to do 11 before you got to 12. Having had a spiritual awakening. You practicing principles in all your affairs. This is about spiritual principles. And you try to practice these principles in all your affairs, because sometimes it's like, I'm feeling like, go get them, hit them up like Tupac, and then sometimes I'm feeling like BB and CC Wine, and I'm lost without you.
Listen, don't make me play BB and CC right now.
Look here. I told you and Andy, man, look, y'all be doing the thing. And that Luther, my son was made off of never too much. Y'all doing too much. My son's 42, Andy, with your little young stuff and cold soul. Music is awesome.
Oh, Juliet, guess what you just did, Juliet?
I brought L.A. Watts in the area. That's the law, Los Angeles Watts.
You already know what it is. We appreciate the call. I'll be back here tomorrow. Call me again, Juliet. Hey, listen, I love this show. And let me say this, man. I'm just going to be a little candid right now. I need to talk to somebody because let me tell you something, man. This been a trying year. And you don't understand, like, when you play basketball, they say, hey, we're all on a string, right? We're on a string. When we play defense, we're all connected. We're on a string, right? And that's how radio is. You know what I mean? Robin is a part of our string. And the team is off a little bit without Robin. You know? Tavish used to say it this way. He would say, hey, I got a great lead-in for your show, Zo. And it would be Robin. Robin is the lead-in to the Voice of Reason. You know? And without a lead-in, it's like, oh, you know, Robin would get me hype. And like I said, man, this isn't like, you know, pity or nothing like that. It's just, I miss the sister. She's a great sister. And I'm just so happy that KBLA is honoring her for the remainder of this week. But I challenge us to honor her beyond that because she was a sweet soul. You know, if you knew her, you know what I'm talking about. She was a sweet, kind person. And I'm going to tell you, I've been in Hollywood for a long time, and those are far and few in between. I just got to be honest with you. Shout out to Robin. We appreciate y'all. Hey, I start the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'll be back in here tomorrow with yet another slapper. The Voice of Reason, always on fire. Holla!
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know from BIN News. A recent